Hello and welcome, dearest. I'm Grandma Mimsy, and this is the patchwork pill. Yes, we often say words are hard, and I stutter. Even as a grandma, as an old lady, the words want to be there, but they don't just execute as they're supposed to. Plate M484 is named Patchwork, and this one is really cute, and I've had it for a while wanting to share. I've had a bunch of plates that I've wanted to share, and well, excuse me, life needs liquid. And that version isn't going to work, so we have to go to the other. I apologize for slurping in your ear, but Vegas is dry. Vegas has 0 humidity. I think we're at like 14%, to be honest, because we did have a couple of storms come through. There's always a storm coming through. We never see the storms. We never see the humidity. It's just dry. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We are fast approaching very quickly. We have gone over the is it the summer equinox? Solstice? Something of that. The moons have changed. We have hit the ground of summer. It's warm out. Temperatures are, above 80, 90, 100. Not looking forward to those. We've had those. Anyway, I digress. So yes, it's very important to hydrate. Drink your water. Patchwork is for me something that is incredibly fun, in that I had a very odd childhood. It wasn't that it was just eclectic, it was bizarre, in that none of the things that happen kind of go together and make sense. So that's a story for another day. But sewing and doing, blankets and things like this was something that was a big part of what I did from a very young age. I did have to learn sewing. Not so much that it was a had to for any other reason than it was an outlet, it was creativity, it was available, it was offered, and I kind of had to do something, so I had to learn. And it was the one thing that I was allowed to do, that I wasn't picked on about, or that there was no critical shaming of anything. It was just, I got to sew, and I can sew well a lot of things. It's been a while since I've done it, but it's, in my opinion, like riding a bike. Once you sit down in front of the sewing machine and the patterns and you cut things out. And I'm of the style that I did this to the degree that I don't actually have a pattern. I can make my own, and I can alter things, and I don't need a pattern. I can put together and take apart anything. And I think that early on in my life, along with a bunch of other things that happened, correlates to how I can look at a plate and see art, how I can look at the plate and decide what to deconstruct and come up with these things. And I really want to be showing that, the art side of things, not so much just the plates, but I will be doing a lot more of the art images of what plates can do, the art images of what colors can do, and the designs that you can do, getting into the nitty-gritty, the fun part. And this plate just checks all of those boxes. So if you are not feeling like you are a creative person, or that you do not have an artistic bone in your body, this is the plate for you. If you are artistic and you can create things, this is a plate for you. So this is a good plate for beginners or for newbies, because it does have a lot of elements that you can springboard from. And so you have the different patchworks that, again, you can isolate out images. You have on this one plate. And so again, if funds are limited, I'll switch over here for the less glare. But and again, I had stamping issues with this one. I have had a few days where I try to sit and do things and, they don't work. And I'm stubborn that I'm not going to just bail. So I will try to find a way to make it be something that it needs to be. So this one, these three gave me grief more times than I care to count. So that's why we ended up with such a thick layer of coverage versus the other one. But this one, like I said, you have the patchwork that looks like a quilt. You can take apart that and move it around on your nail, turn it upside down in different ways, where you are taking each piece and putting it back together in a different way. So you can do that with all of these. And this large plate, I just couldn't line it up. It was a moment, and I went with this. You know what? You can tell. I'm not a fan of polka dots, but if this is something you like, you can mix and match this one, and maybe the hearts, and get you something that is completely abstract. This one has flowers and hearts and stars and leaves, flowers and leaves. You have larger images of things. So there's a lot to mix and match that you can take this plate and use it for multiple seasons, multiple manis, multiple occasions, that you can just let your imagination go wild. Pick a Skittles colors, basically pull out 20 different shades. Pull out 20 different shades, paint each fingernail different, stamp with a completely different shade, but one that corresponds with the base color that you're stamping. Go wild, have fun, use glitter. This one is the one that will set your heart singing. If you are not sold on stamping, if you are waiting to pull the plug and go, you know, I like all this stuff, I've been watching all these videos, I can't wait to figure out how to do this and where to go, get this plate. Get you a starter kit. Maniology does have them for around $20. Sometimes they have them on sale where you get buy one, get one free. A bunch of times they will have major discounts. It used to be they had a link where you could get a free one. I don't even know if that still exists because that was a while ago. But the thing is that get you just the basics. Couple of colors, the smudge-free top coat, the sticky stamping polish, and a couple of shades, and go have fun. Because this one, as a beginner plate, it does have some issues. I was having issues. Do not let my mistakes dissuade you. I was having issues with those, and it was me and the plate. It was not the issue of the plate not stamping. It was my polish, and paper to stamp on is not the easiest thing to do. So the fact that I can even do this at all with any amount of relative image is saying a lot, because stamping on paper, it's not designed to do that, and it doesn't do it well. So it does take a little bit of finessing to get it to work. And that's what I had to do with these. Finesse the images to go on paper, because it wants to go on your nail, not here. Anyway, I have rattled on. Please be kind. Please do the best you possibly can to be the best human possibly out there, because there's a lot going on right now, and the world needs a lot more love. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.